fascinating new study shows that most women report that when they succeed professionally, there is a price they pay for the success. The study by Gender Equity Advancement Organization, Women of Influence Plus, is called The Tallest Puppy. It refers to a cultural phenomenon known as tall poppy syndrome, in which people are attacked or ostracized for their high achievements. With us this morning is the CEO of Women of Influence Plus, Rumeet Billan. Welcome to your morning, and happy International Women's Day.
Thank you, Anne-Marie. Happy International Women's Day to you, and thank you for talking about this.
Well, this is an important one. So for this study, you spoke with thousands of women. They were from across the board in terms of professions. 86.8% all reported experiencing tall poppy syndrome in the workplace. How does it manifest?
So tall poppy syndrome can manifest in multiple different ways. So respondents shared that their achievements were dismissed or they were downplayed. Others were actually taking credit for their work, or they were undermined and belittled.
For those who reported experiencing tall poppy syndrome, what kind of toll does it take on their mental health, on their physical well-being, on their professional attitudes towards work?
And that's such a good question, because we asked this and respondents said that there was an increase in stress. They also explained that there was a negative impact on their mental health, and also that they experienced lower self-confidence, which, Anne-Marie, is kind of counterintuitive, because if you achieve something, there should be a boost in your self-confidence. They also engaged in negative self-talk, and they felt isolated at work. And when we feel isolated, this absolutely has an impact on our well-being.
And does it happen in both genders?
Yes, it happens to everyone across the board. In terms of this study, we focused on women in the workplace worldwide.
Okay. More than 60% of the women that you spoke with believe that they would be penalized in some way if they were seen as being ambitious or high achieving. What do those penalties look like?
Well, if we think about that, that has an impact on the individual, but also the organization. So if 60% are saying, you know, I'm going to be penalized if I'm perceived in this way, what ends up happening is they play small, or they want to hide. They don't want to be noticed by others. And organizations need to pay attention to this, because your top talent may not be performing at their best because they're scared, and that's important to know.
So the reasons why are important as well. It doesn't seem like it would benefit. It seems counterintuitive for a company to cut down their highest achievers. Why does it happen?
It happens, and when we asked the respondents, they said it could be because of jealousy, it could be because of envy or sexism or gender stereotypes. There's so many different reasons as to why it manifests, but what we do know is that it is rampant in the workplace.
So it's a tricky situation, because sometimes it can be happening from coworkers, but it can also be happening from management above.
Yes.
So if they are made aware that this is happening in their organization, there is a bit of reticence perhaps to respond. But if companies are looking to change this in their workplace, what can they do?
So we asked this, who better to tell us than the people that experienced it firsthand, and they were loud and clear in terms of what organizations can do. The number one thing is to build awareness. So for example, many respondents said, I had no idea that this had a name, that my experience had a name, and they actually felt less alone. Number two was accountability. It's about holding people accountable regardless of their position title, because you're right, it could be leadership, it could be management. And then it's also about creating transparency. We want to create transparency around opportunities related to promotions or even hiring or advancement. These are the things that can help organizations to manage tall poppy syndrome.
What would your best advice be to them, to women in particular, it's International Women's Day, who say that they feel that they're experiencing this right now?
Name it. When we're able to name it, when we're able to label it, we can separate our personal identity from what it is someone else is saying, doing, their behaviors and their actions. We don't want to personalize it. And I think the first thing is to name it and call it what it is.
Rumeet, great to have you here on the show talking about the tallest poppy syndrome study that you guys have put out. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, we're going to take a look at our full national forecast.